Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Hey, welcome back trainers, battlers, and girls at PvP. This is PoGo Joel here coming at you with another Fusion Cup video. My last video did cover the Flyers and Mud Boys, link right there. And this video will be covering the Steel, Fairy, and Grass type Pokemon of the Fusion Cup meta. If you like this video, please drop a like, subscribe, and let me know down in the comment section below what Pokemon are you thinking about using for your Fusion Cup team. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. Up first we have Bronzong, a Steel and Psychic type Pokemon with an attack of 161, defense of 213, and a stamina of 167. It's weak to Dark, Fire, Ghost, and Ground. So it is an interesting Psychic type Pokemon. It does carry Psyshock. Psyshock is going to be its more spammy-ish move, if you want to say that. It's definitely going to be the fastest move it gets to. And then for the secondary move, you have a choice between Bulldoze or Heavy Slam. I do prefer Bulldoze at the moment, so we did unlock that. And that confusion damage you do with your fast move, it hits so many things generally, which is really nice. You can put a lot of hurt in on a lot of different Pokemon. So a lot of things you do have to watch out for in this cup because of your weaknesses. It is a very popular Pokemon, so there's a lot of Pokemon coming at it. We do have a lot of interesting threats coming in from the Ghost and Dark types and Fire, so maybe a little too weak, but there's a lot of great battlers out there that can maneuver it very well. Bronzong can pretty much beat anything that isn't Ground, Fire, or Dark in this cup. There is a lot of that running around, so you do have to be very careful. And that Shiftry, watch out because it does carry that foul play that's going to hurt. But other than that, it can beat the Fighters, it can beat the Fairies, the Grass types, other than Shiftry. And it's pretty set up to be a dominant force. You're going to have to be prepared for it. You don't have to have it on your team, but you have to be prepared. Next we have Alolan Sandslash, an Ice and Steel type Pokemon with an attack of 177, defense of 195, and a stamina of 181. It's going to be double weak to Fighting, double weak to Fire, and weak to Ground. All of those things are in this cup, so why is this guy so good? I'll tell you why. Powder Snow and Ice Punch alone deal so much damage. They are devastating to a lot of Pokemon in this cup. Now for the secondary move, you could have Bulldoze or Gyro Ball. Those are going to be the best two options. Don't use Blizzard. Bulldoze will give you the additional ground coverage on a lot against other like Steel types. And if you use Gyro Ball, you'll pick up matches against other Ice types, the Fairies. So that's going to help you too. A lot of different ways you can build your Alolan Sandslash, but this thing is amazing. I love this thing. I know the weaknesses can be a little bit scary. Fighting might pick up a little bit more once Empoleon's in the cup with Hydro Cannon, but this guy can fire off so fast. It dominates the Flyers that are essentially a big part of this cup. And it took me a while to warm up to this. I didn't really want to make one, but I finally decided to pull the trigger, and I love it, guys. I love it. Next we have the Stash of Doom Probopass with an attack of 135, a defense of a beefy 275, and stamina of 155. It's going to be double weak to Fighting, double weak to Ground, and weak to Water. Fighting and Ground we are going to see in this cup, so Ground type probably going to be the best. Those Mud Bombs, those Bone Clubs are going to hurt it a lot. And then you do have some options in picking the type that you run. You can go Rock Throw, which is going to help you farm down a lot of the Flyers. And you can go Spark, which generates energy pretty quick. And then you have Rock Slide, which is mandatory for the Flyers and some of these Ice types. And then Magnet Bomb will help you win in the Mirror Match, also keeping you in there with the Fairies. Thunderbolt is there if you want to have some extra coverage against the waters, like maybe Poliwrath or Celio. But other than that, it doesn't have too much of a big purpose, so I would definitely stick to Rock Slide and Magnet Bomb. One of the things that I do like about Probopass is that it's surprisingly dominant. You go in there thinking that you might be able to beat it with Fire, but if you don't know your typings, it's actually not weak to Fire, it's just neutral to Fire. So it's not like Bronzong in that respect, which is pretty cool. Next we have Empoleon with an attack of 210, a defense of 186, and a stamina of 197, a water and steel type Pokemon. Going to be weak to electric, fighting, and ground. And if you try to use this before Community Day, you might be disappointed, but after Community Day it will have Hydro Cannon, the exclusive Community Day move. So if we go over to PvPoke, link in the description as always, you can type in Empoleon here, Empoleon, and it's currently ranked 78th. So if you were trying to use this now, your best bet would be to have Blizzard and Flash Cannon. Flash Cannon being very useful for it there. But look, PvPoke even made a Fusion Cup with Empoleon in it, and Empoleon jumped all the way up to 14 in the rankings on PvPoke.com, with Waterfall, Metal Claw as your options for the fast moves. And then we have charge moves, Hydro Cannon. Now for the secondary move will be more interesting. Previously Flash Cannon was the one that was higher recommended. I think I have a link to that up here. Yep. And then Blizzard. I think I'm probably going Flash Cannon. That will still help you against the flyers like Altaria and also the fairies. But you could go Blizzard as well. I definitely will be making a Community Day video for Piplup Community Day once that comes out. But keep an eye out on Empoleon, because once that thing hits, the meta's going to get shooken up very, very well, and very deserving. Next we have a brand new entry into the world of Pokemon Go, Escavalier, with an attack of 223, a defense of 187, and a stamina of 172. It's a bug and steel type Pokemon with a weakness to fire, a double weakness there, and that being its only weakness. Pretty cool there. With the moves, it has counter as a fast move. You could also go bug bite, but those charge moves are quite interesting. It has aerial ace, drill run, mega horn, and acid spray, and this is with the new trading system. So you can either have 200 candies, or you can trade for one and then evolve it for free because you traded it. So a pretty cool system there. It does so well in the cup. It can put a hurting on a lot of the other steel and rock type, almost all of the grass, almost all of the ice except Frostlass, almost all of the dark, and give normal a tough time as well. The real question is, are you going to go Mega Horn or Drill Run as the secondary move? It's a pretty tough choice. Mega Horn will hit all of the Mud Boys pretty hard. Drill Run gives you the coverage against Lowland Marowak and some of those other steel types. So, interesting option. Can't wait to see this in action in Pokemon Go. And then we also have Magneton with an attack of 223, defense of 169, and a stamina of 137. And it's going to be weak to fighting, fire, and a double weakness to ground. So all things you have to be looking out for in this cup. The only way to make this one work is if you have the double legacy Thundershock and Discharge. You can get away with Spark, I believe, or yeah, Spark and Discharge, but this is the optimal move set to output a lot of damage to the opponents, and it hits very hard. And there's also Magnezone, but Magnezone doesn't do a good job against Altaria, which kind of knocks it down a lot in this cup. For the final steel type, we have Durant with an attack of 217, defense of 188, and a stamina of 155. So if you are in Europe, Asia, or Australia, or have friends that are traveling there, this is a great option. You can go Bug Bite or Metal Claw as the fast move, X Scissor, Iron Head, and Stone Edge. So you have some great coverage moves. Again, because it's a bug and steel, it is double weak to fire, so something to look out for, but something to be interested in as well. I would love a Durant, so hopefully I can find one in my local community. Next we have our fairy type Pokemon, and we got a Alolan Ninetales coming in first as an ice and fairy type Pokemon with an attack of 170, defense of 193, and a stamina of 171. Now you have some options when it comes to what moveset you run. For the fast move, you can run Powder Snow, and that'll make you a lot faster. Or if you want Charm, you can definitely go that route and take down things like Altaria very easily. you are going to go Ice Beam and Slice Shock for the secondary moves. And the only thing you really have to watch out for in this cup is Fire, Poison, Rock, and a 2x weakness to Steel. So Alolan Ninetales looking really good for this cup. At least 2 ways to use it. Now up next we have Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a normal and fairy type Pokemon with an attack of 156, defense of a 90, and a stamina of a beefy 295. It's only going to be weak to Poison and Steel type. You are definitely going to want to run Charm as the fast move. For the charge moves, we're going Ice Beam and Play Rough. Play Rough picks up Stab. Ice Beam gives you coverage against some of the flyers, anything else that could be weak to Ice. And that subtyping of normal really fits in really good here. It's also the thickest of the charm users, which helps it a lot, and it does so much neutral damage to a lot of things. So definitely want to look out for Wigglytuff, as that thing can take out so much abuse, but also dish it as well. What's cool about Wigglytuff is it's very thick. So if you do have a high enough attack IV one, you can safely come out on top of Whiscash and even Noctowls that switch in on you, which is kind of huge. It is a counter to the flyers, which works out really well. Up next we have Togekiss, a fairy and flying type Pokemon with an attack of 225, a defense of 217, and a stamina of 198. It's going to be weak to Electric, Ice, Poison, Rock, and Steel. For this one, you can run Air Slash if you want it to be a flyer, or Charm, which is the most common one we're seeing right now. And then for these charge moves, you have Ancient Power, Aerial Ace, and Flamethrower. Togekiss is a hard Pokemon to get. You have to find a Togetic in the wild that is weak enough to enter the Great League. They used to be more plentiful, but now they're super rare. If you went to Go Fest in Chicago, you might have some of them in your inventory. So look for those people, guys. Good luck with that one. Up we have our grass type Pokemon, with Venusaur coming in first here with an attack of 198, a defense of 189, and a stamina of 190. It is a grass and poison type Pokemon with its weaknesses to fire, flying, ice, and psychic. So you will see all of that in this meta. You're gonna want to run Vine Whip, Frenzy Plant, and Sludge Bomb. And you do see the resistances over there on the right. What makes Venusaur really good in this cup is that out of all of the grass types, it gives you the additional coverage you need with the Sludge Bomb, so you can beat fellow grass types, and you have something that will help you against the flyers once those do get switched in on you and before they can obliterate you. And you do have that Frenzy Plant, which you can get to pretty quickly if you need to, if you're in a pinch and you're just trying to get chip damage off. That might help as well. There are going to be things you're going to be running away from. So if you do see that Bronzong running Confusion, get out of there. That's going to hurt you really bad. But it can flip the script on a lot of things for you. So Venusaur, a awesome Pokemon for this cup. And if you don't have a Venusaur, you can definitely run an Ivysaur, which is just a little bit slower but a little more bulkier. So that might be an option for you, especially if you don't have access to our next highlighted Pokemon, Shiftry, a grass and dark type Pokemon with an attack stat of 200, a defense of 121, and a stamina of 207. It's going to be a 2x weakness to Bug. It's going to be weak to Fairy, Fighting, Fire, Flying, Ice, and Poison. All of these things you will see in the cup, but why is this thing so good? Because it's going to put the fast grass coverage that you need onto everything you want. With Snarl being so fast to charge up your moves, you can go Razor Leaf, not recommended though. Leaf Blade and Foul Play are your recommended movesets. It also has access to Hurricane, but that's not recommended for you to use. So Snarl, Leaf Blade, and Foul Play gives you all of the coverage you can possibly want in this meta. You have Leaf Blade to get onto those Whiscash, Mud Boys, and those water types, and just as chip damage. And then Foul Play will destroy the Bronzong, will give you some neutral fighting back power against the flyers, and it just hits everything so fast and so hard. It's so much fun. I'm so happy that I was able to make one of these. It is crazy fast. It takes 3 Snarls to get to Leaf Blade and 4 Snarls to get to Foul Play. With that kind of speed, you just blow people's minds sometimes. And with the right shield play, you can even turn negative matchups into something that will eventually pay off, which is really nice. If you don't have access to Frenzy Plant Venusaur or Shiftry, I would go Ivysaur, but if you don't have that, you can go a Razor Leaf user. There's Grass Poison Razor Leaf users. They're going to be weak to Psychic. There is Ludicolo, which is one of my favorite Razor Leaf users. Water Grass. You do have the new Torterra, which has Sand Tomb now. And you do have Obama Snow, so I know a lot of people have those shinies they want to test out. Razor Leaf does so much damage. It does 13 damage per second, and it doesn't gain energy very well at all, but it deals a lot of damage. So if you want to erase a Whiscash really quick, this is going to be very good for you. Those mud boys are not going to appreciate Razor Leaf. So there are some options for you. I would try to go with the former, not the latter. Alrighty, there you have it, trainers. Some more picks for your Fusion Cup team. If you like this video, please drop a like, subscribe, leave some comments down there. What Pokemon will you be using in your cup? What Pokemon do you like? And until next time, trainers, gotta catch them all.